Hi, I'm Wilf. Today we're going to be learning about electronics, specifically a component in electronics called a resistor. Now, you may have heard of resistors, and you may have heard that they reduce a current of electricity, but how do they actually do that? I wonder, how do resistors work? This is a toy I have, and it's called Spintronics. It's basically electricity, but manual. The chain represents the electricity, the switch represents the switch, and you can see we have a resistor here, and it has a resistance of 200 ohms. The resistor is making the flow of electricity, in this case the chain, a lot slower, and in the real world, resistors basically just reduce the voltage or power of a current of electricity. And here is the same setup with the switch, but without the resistor of 200 ohms. So now you can see how much faster it goes. Now I'm going to put in the 1000 ohms, so 5 times more resistant than the 200 ohms resistor, and we're going to see how fast it moves. It goes quite slow with the 1000 ohms. To show you all how a resistor works, I've built a model in Minecraft. So, in the very center is a metal wire, as you can tell, and surrounding that is a ceramic carrier. Surrounding the ceramic carrier is a copper coil that basically makes a longer path for the electrons, therefore it's weaker when it comes out, it's a lower voltage. So it's a common misconception that resistors slow down electrons. In reality, they actually only either make the path the electrons have to travel longer, make the wire thinner, so less of them can get through. As the electrons go through the copper coil, they bump into all the atoms from the resistor, and that means it's a lower voltage coming out the other side of the wire. Then surrounding the copper coil is a protective coating, and then it's color coded to say things like how powerful the resistor is. I have actually made a working resistor in Minecraft, but it's not very like a real one. So this lever will produce a power output of 15, and these repeaters will just keep it at 15, also a tiny amount of delay, but that doesn't really matter. And so this block here will have a power of 15, but over here, while this will have a power of 15 because of the repeater, this is a redstone torch that also gives out 15, but this is 14 because it's like treble the block. So this thing will take away the 15 here, and it will subtract 14 from it, which, if I switch it on, will give us 1. You can see it's very dimly lit, but this is 15 and it goes to the end of the track. So if you want to build a working resistor in real Minecraft, here is one of the multiple actually ways to do it. So now you know more about resistors, how they work, and how they're made. Some of the stuff you may have heard was quite shocking.